Recent reports from Ukraine have spotlighted the FP-5 Flamingo cruise missile, a new addition to Kyiv's arsenal that has sparked significant discussion in Western media and among Ukrainian officials. Touted as a game-changer with a reported range of 3,000 kilometers and 1,150-kilogram warhead, the Flamingo has been portrayed as a formidable threat to Russian territory. However, a closer examination of its capabilities, coupled with Russia's robust defense systems and strategic depth, reveals that the missile's danger is likely overstated, serving more as a propaganda tool than a genuine strategic disruptor. Developed by Ukraine's Firepoint defense company, the FP-5 Flamingo is a ground-launched, subsonic cruise missile designed to strike targets deep within Russian territory. According to Ukrainian sources, the missile boasts a 6-meter wingspan, a takeoff weight of 6,000 kilograms, and a cruising speed of 850 to 900 km per hour. It is powered by a jet engine, possibly resembling the AI-25TL turbofan used in the L-39 Albatross, and employs GPS-assisted inertial navigation with anti-jamming features. Ukrainian officials, including President Volodymyr Zelensky, have claimed the missile is already in serial production, with ambitions to scale up to 7 units per day by October. These claims, amplified by Western media outlets, suggest the Flamingo could target critical Russian infrastructure, including military bases, factories, and oil refineries, as far as the Ural Mountains and beyond. However, Russia's defense establishment remains unfazed, viewing the Flamingo as a manageable challenge within the broader context of its layered air defense systems. The Russian Ministry of Defense has downplayed the missile's capabilities, with state media like TASS suggesting it may be derived from foreign designs, potentially undermining claims of Ukrainian innovation. Experts in Moscow argue that the Flamingo's large size and lack of stealth features make it vulnerable to Russia's advanced air defense networks, including the S-400 and S-500 systems, which are designed to intercept subsonic cruise missiles. These systems, deployed across Russia's western and central regions, are complemented by fighter jets equipped with airborne radars capable of detecting large, non-stealth targets like the Flamingo against ground clutter. The missile's reported 3,000-kilometer range, while impressive on paper, is tempered by practical limitations. Cruise missiles rarely fly in straight lines, instead following complex routes to avoid detection, which reduces their effective range. Even if the Flamingo can reach targets as far as Omsk or Yekaterinburg, Russian air defenses are strategically positioned to cover key industrial and military hubs. The missile's subsonic speed, slower than Russia's own Kalibr or Kh-101 missiles, further limits its ability to evade interception, particularly in areas with dense radar coverage. Moreover, the Flamingo's reliance on GPS navigation, despite its anti-jamming claims, leaves it susceptible to Russia's sophisticated electronic warfare systems, such as the KRASUKHA-4, which can disrupt satellite signals and degrade missile accuracy. From a strategic perspective, Russia's vast geographic depth provides an additional layer of protection. Unlike Ukraine, which faces concentrated Russian strikes on its infrastructure, Russia's critical assets are dispersed across thousands of kilometers, making it difficult for Ukraine to deliver a decisive blow with a limited number of missiles. The Flamingo's 150-kilogram warhead, while powerful, is not unique. Russia's Kalibr missile carries a 990-pound warhead, and its effects have been mitigated by robust Russian infrastructure hardening. Ukrainian claims of targeting 90% of Russia's defense industries are ambitious but unrealistic, given the logistical challenges of producing and deploying sufficient quantities of the Flamingo to overwhelm Russian defenses. Production constraints further diminish the missile's threat. Firepoint, a relatively new Ukrainian defense startup, currently produces only 1 Flamingo per day, with plans to scale to 7 by October and potentially 210 per month by year's end. These figures, while promising for Ukraine, pale in comparison to Russia's established missile production capabilities, which can churn out 30 to 60 Kaliber and Kh-101 missiles monthly. Financial and logistical hurdles, as acknowledged by Zelensky himself, may limit Ukraine's ability to achieve these production goals, especially under the strain of ongoing conflict and uncertain Western support. The Flamingo's high cost, likely exceeding the $55,000 price tag of Firepoint's FP-1 drone, could further strain Ukraine's resources, diverting funds from other critical defense needs. Russian analysts also point to the psychological and propaganda dimensions of the Flamingo's unveiling. The missile's reveal, accompanied by dramatic photos and bold claims from Ukrainian officials, coincides with heightened diplomatic tensions and U.S. President Donald Trump's calls for Ukraine to escalate attacks on Russian territory. Moscow views this as an attempt to project strength amid Ukraine's battlefield challenges and to bolster Western support by showcasing domestic innovation. However, Russian officials argue that such posturing is unlikely to alter the strategic balance, given Russia's superior firepower and defensive capabilities. The Flamingo's pink-tip design and quirky name, reportedly an internal joke at Firepoint, have been mocked in Russian media as emblematic of Ukraine's over-reliance on symbolic gestures rather than substantive military advancements. The Flamingo's battlefield impact remains unproven. While Ukrainian sources claim successful test strikes, no verifiable evidence confirms its effectiveness against Russian targets. Russia's experience countering Ukraine's slower, less sophisticated drones, such as the Tu-141 Strezh, suggests that the Flamingo's larger size and predictable flight profile could make it an easier target. Combined strikes with drones and other missiles, as suggested by Ukrainian experts, might improve its chances of penetrating defenses, but Russia's layered defense systems are designed to counter such tactics. The Flamingo's 20 to 40-minute pre-launch preparation time also limits its operational flexibility, allowing Russian forces to detect and respond to launch activities. Looking ahead, Russia remains confident in its ability to neutralize the Flamingo's threat. Investments in air defense modernization, electronic warfare, and infrastructure protection ensure that key assets remain secure. The Kremlin's strategic calculus is further bolstered by its own long-range strike capabilities, which continue to target Ukrainian infrastructure with precision. While the Flamingo may enable Ukraine to conduct sporadic deep strikes, it is unlikely to shift the war's trajectory or deter Russia's resolve. Moscow's leadership has dismissed Western and Ukrainian hype surrounding the missile, emphasizing that Russia's military-industrial complex remains resilient and adaptive. In conclusion, the FP-5 Flamingo represents a notable achievement for Ukraine's defense industry, but its danger to Russia has been exaggerated by Western narratives and Ukrainian propaganda. Its large size, subsonic speed, and reliance on vulnerable navigation systems make it a manageable threat for Russia's advanced defenses. Production limitations and Russia's strategic depth further reduce its impact. As the conflict evolves, Russia's focus on enhancing its air defenses and maintaining offensive superiority ensures that the Flamingo, while a bold attempt, falls short of posing an existential threat to the Russian Federation.